We're going to be working on the Koala and Friends assignment, and in this video I'm going to specifically show you how to do the main koala. There is an activity prompt that's written out step by step on how to do all these steps. This video is just to supplement that activity prompt, so at any time that you're lost or you're looking for specific information to put in, like changing the colors or changing the size, all the information is in the activity prompt. There are some parts that I might glance over or like not go over just to get to a koala. But if you're interested in looking at other options on how to create it, as well as just other details surrounding the tools that we're going to use, the activity prompt is the best place to go to. So let's get started. We're going to open up Illustrator, which is what I have up right now, and we're going to create a new file. We're going to go to Art and Illustration and name it Koala and Friend. We're going to change the dimension to inches, and this is going to be the size of a regular sheet of paper. It'll be 8.5 by 11. And then just make sure that the color mode is RGB. Give it some time to load. All right, so before we get started in putting anything on the page, we're just going to set up our workspace. So we want to go into View and make sure that Smart Guides and Snap to Point are checked. This will help us put stuff in a little bit easier, because there's like programmed guidelines already placed into it that can help snap shapes into place. Another thing that I should mention is your Illustrator might look a little different than mine. My properties, layers, and libraries is on the right side, but I know sometimes this information is on the top. But either way, it should be about the same. They might be in different locations, but just look out for the specific things that I'm changing, along with like the symbols that it correlates with. So another thing is we're going to create this layer and name it Koala Head. Now, all right, let's get started. So we're going to go into this rectangular tool. We're going to hold, and it's going to give you these options. We're going to be using the ellipse tool mostly today, or in this video. So we're going to hold somewhere on the page and then pull away to create this ellipse. It doesn't matter the shape yet. We're actually going to change that manually. Now we're going to go back into Properties, and we're going to go into the three-dot option and change the width and the height. So the dimension that we're using is 335 pixels, and make sure to put px or else it's going to default into inches. Also, sometimes this might be turned on. You actually want it to be turned off, the constraint width and height proportions, because if it's on, it'll be a little bit harder to change both the width and the height. They're 335 pixels by 375 pixels. And you should have that. Now we're actually going to go into change the color. So we're going to go into this top left box or square. I double clicked it, and we're going to change the hex code, which is this highlighted part. We're going to change it to 8B8A88, which is this nice gray color. Another thing we're going to do is, so instead of the top box, we're going to go to the bottom box, and we're going to change to none, which means there's no border surrounding it. And then it should look like this. So I went into the top tool, into the selection tool, and so now we have this nice little gray ellipse for the head. Now I'm going to move it, and you see how right there's like a magenta place mark. That's like in the beginning we put the view and the quick guidelines, smart guidelines and stuff like that. This is what it is. It tells you certain places that are key within the space. So we're going to put it in the center, and then we're going to create another ellipse, go back into the ellipse, and we're going to start on the ears. We're going to create another one. It doesn't matter how you create it. We're actually going to change dimensions. The dimensions for the ears is actually going to be 235 pixels by 290 pixels. There we go. And we're going to actually tilt it. So we're going to change this little angle piece here to 45. And you should have a tilted ellipse. Now I'm going to go back to the selection tool, kind of drag it here so that I could see it. And I'm going to copy and paste it to make the inner ears. So I'm going to Control C, Control V, and there should be another one that pops up. We're going to change this to 160 pixels and 210 pixels. There you go. And we're also going to change the color. So we still have this little box of, you don't have to click here anymore for it, but you want to make sure that you're in the fill and that it is changing to E396AE. And there you go. You can drag this, match up the center with the center, and then there you go. You have one ear. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to drag and select all of it. So both of the ellipses, right click, transform, reflect, and you want to make sure that it's vertical and that it's a copy. And now you have a second ear. I'm going to place it down here. So select everything again and just match up using the guidelines, and there you go. Now the ears are technically in front right now, so we're going to try to bring the head in front so that the ears kind of hide behind it. So we're going to click back into the main circle, right click, arrange, and bring it to the front. And there you go. You can fix it up a little bit. My ears are kind of like a little too out, but this will do for the tutorial. And then the next thing we're going to do is make the eyes. So we're going to go back to the ellipse tool. So I'm going to hold the shift, and this is going to create a perfect circle when I drag out. So notice how that comes out. I'm going to go back into the width and height change and make this 55 pixels by 55 pixels. And we're actually going to change the color to be 312E2F. It should turn into this nice black color. Another thing that we're going to, so I'm going to copy and paste this, and then I'm going to turn it into, I'm going to change the dimensions to 22 pixels to 22 pixels, and then we're going to just make it white, which is this preset color right here. And then we're going to drag it in to make this little twinkle in the eye. There we go. I'm going to drag and select, copy and paste, and there's another eye. And then I'm just going to set it anywhere and then just line it up. Oh, remember to select everything. There we go. Now we're going to make the nose. I'm just going to make another ellipse again, and the dimensions for the nose is going to be 80 pixels by 120 pixels. And then remember to select it and place it somewhere in the center that makes sense. There we go. We're only like 2 steps away, or 2 items away from making a full koala. So we're going to actually go into this pen tool, and we're going to make the lips. Over here, we're going to make sure that there is actually no fill and that the stroke is black. But I'm actually going to change it here. So I'm going to go into this and then insert the hex code, which is 312E2F. Should have that. And then I'm in the activity prompt, it says 1.5. points, but I'm actually going to make it 5 just because I like it a little bit thicker, so you can really see the mouth. So this is going to be a little bit difficult because you won't be seeing my keyboard. So I'm going to try to tell you every step along the way. And you still also, again, as a reminder, you have the activity prompt to help guide you. So I'm just going to start somewhere around here and just left click. And I'm going to aim somewhere around here. But the next step, you're going to hold and then press shift. So I'm pressing shift, and notice how there's these like little blue handlebars that start appearing. This helps bring a curve onto the line that you're making. So I'm gonna release, and I'm gonna go back up and try to line it up with the first point and the middle of the nose, which creates the other side of the curve. I'm going to do the second, similar to the second point, from the first to second. I'm going to bring it down and line it up. Hold, press shift, and then make this little curvature again. And then I'm going to, again, bring it up. And also I forgot to, like, you can let go. And then after that, we're going to just meet up again and create that. I'm going to press A to finish that off. And then A also helps you rearrange these points. So if it's not even, you can kind of go back in and tailor it a little bit. So like this one can be right there, and then come in a little bit. This can also come in a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't have to be too perfect, but that should, I'm just gonna move it around, and that's my little koala. And then one final step that we're going to do is we're gonna create the little hair fluffs in the ears. So we're gonna go back to the pen tool. We're gonna start halfway within the ear. I'm gonna start on the left one, and just press just left click, and then we're going to go up a little bit, and then go back to, you see the blue ring that appears. We're going to try to meet it, and then create these little triangles basically. So again, we're gonna go up, click up, create these little spikes, and press A. So I'm actually going to change the color settings on this. We're going to do a white or no outline, and then we're going to do the gray in the koala, which is 8A, I believe. Oh, 8B, 8A, 8A. There we go. Perfect. And then we're gonna do that again. So we're gonna go back to the pen tool, start halfway, go up, in, up, in, up, in. And you can press A, and then it will also allow you to kind of move it around if you want. You can make it a little thicker. You can make it a little smaller, shorter, whatever it is that you would like. You have a little bit of creative freedom when it comes to these little things. Ooh. But yeah, so I'm actually going to keep it the way that it was before. And now you have a wonderful, cute panda. So, or not panda, koala. For a friend that you're going to make using your own creative freedom. I'm just going to do something just to kind of show you around like what you could do. And just a few things to keep in mind. Just simplicity, distinct signature characteristics, meaning like you don't have to go into huge details and whatnot. For example, like if you're making like a little piggy, we all know that little piggies have like the oval nose with like, little ovals inside, and so forth. You're limited to 2 to 4 colors, and finally, use negative space to your advantage. So whether that means like white space, and trying to figure out how to emphasize specific shapes or spaces that aren't too heavy or detailed in, kind of like our little koala. So I also didn't mention in the first video on how to save it. You simply just should go to File, Save. I already saved it, but I'll show you by this. And then just go into your desktop and you're gonna press save. But let's get started with this friend. So we're going to go into File, Document Setup, Edit Artboard, and we're going to press Alt to make sure that this whole thing is selected. And then we're going to copy, Control C and Control V over everything. And we're just going to make sure that it lines up right next to it. And we're going to just select, and there we go. We have 2 artboards. So today I'm actually feeling like making a cat. So I'm just going to delete. What I did was I just clicked it and deleted a part by clicking like the delete button on your keyboard. And I'm going to change the nose to this nice little cute button nose. I like this color a lot, so I'm actually going to I'm going to show you the eyedrop tool, where you could just select the color of a page and it'll apply it to whatever shape it is. And I'm going to maybe even make it have an outline. Oh, my bad. Oh. Oh. Well, I know this color. I'm going to copy and paste that and apply it to the outline, and then do that again. Oh. Or I'm just going to select black, and I'm going to give it a nice little, there you go, a little cartoonish kind of nose. And I actually think I'm going to make another part of the eyes a little bit more white and just do maybe 10 pixels by 10. I'm going to zoom in. What I did to zoom in was Control plus to try to get this here and get that little twinkle. I'm going to copy that and just paste it over here to get another twinkle. There we go. I'm going to zoom out, which is Control minus. I'm actually going to delete this little guy, and I'm going to turn this into cat ears. My cat is actually going to be, let's change the color. I think it'd be a cute, be kind of cute if we had like a, maybe, let's see. Oh, okay, this little cream color. That'd be cute. I'm going to maybe even give it the little whiskers and everything. But first I'm gonna make the little mouth. I'm gonna press down and press A. Give it like a nice, oh no, I don't want to fill. Don't want to fill, I want it to be black. And there we go. And then I'm gonna continue to hold shift. Go into there. Kind of like another one. I'm actually going to transform it and reflect vertically so that it looks like a mirrored version. There you go, kind of just make it a little even. And then I think I might make another part of the mouth. Press A, and then I'm going to give it a little fill, which should be nice. Just click to fill, and that should be it. Alright, and then we have little whiskers that we can draw. I'm just going to press the pen tool, kind of just extend it, press A, anchor it, and then do the pen tool again. Oh, so I actually don't want unfill again. I want it to be just a line. And then press A, go back to the pen. Oop. Kind of just go back in and set it in again. Now, like we did before, this is on top, but we want to hide it. So we're going to arrange and bring it to the front. And then this little section, I'm going to press shift and click everything, and then right click to transform and reflect 90 degrees with a copy, in hopes that that will, yeah. It didn't copy that part over, but I'm just going to get, it doesn't matter, I can always just go in and make another one that's a little asymmetric. And then you have this cute little whisker guy. There we go. And then maybe just make it a little asymmetric. I could even go in, maybe add a little bit more detail, create this little addition, kind of like button nose. Cute. I can even maybe make the head a little bit more smaller and cuter. There you go. And now we can make the little ears. So I'm going to actually take this pen again, go up, cute. I'll make that little triangle. Press A. I'm gonna right click, transform, reflect, a copy. And this will be maybe 45. Oh. Actually, before I do that, I'm actually going to make that cat ear again. There you go. And I'm just going to copy and paste it. And turn it 45 degrees. I could probably even play around and maybe do like 50 or hover over and kind of have it twisted over. Yeah, that looks about it. I might even want to give it a little outline just so that it doesn't blend in with the white background as much. Do like 5 points. Oh, intriguing. Go back into the pen and maybe close off the shape. And then we can do a outline and do the same for this ear. Do an outline. Finally, we can do another outline. Beautiful. And then maybe bring this, bring these two into the back. Just kind of hide it a little bit. And because this is a video, I'm not going to try to perfect it too much. It could be just a little bit off, but when you're doing this at home, you can try to make the details look a little bit more symmetrical, accurate, and so forth. Alright, I'm going to copy and paste this and make it slightly smaller. And I'm actually going to have it be the color as that. But of course, it's in the front, so I'm going to try to bring it back. Oop. Bring it backwards. Or bring it back and then bring this back. There you go. And then do that again, copy and paste, make this slightly smaller. Make it the same color. Bring it back. Bring this back. Oh, yeah. And then you have a cute little cat. So feel free to make this how you want. You could try to make it the same shape with this different animal. You can probably scrap the whole thing and try to make the whole animal again. But this is up to you on how you want to create it and make it look like a friend for the koala. So we're going to create a background for our friends. So I'm going to do it step by step and already have a pre-made kind of pattern that I did. So just to save time on this video. So we have the file, we're going to make a new file, or a new project, and let's call it background. It's going to be in inches, 1 inch by 1 inch. I'm going to create that. And so you're going to use the tools that we've already talked about, or maybe even play around to see if there's new tools that you can test out with this. So you have this nice little square and everything. So I'm going to go over to the pattern that I made, which is like this basic little checkered pattern. And I'm going to then show you how to create a clipping mask. So once you're done with everything, notice how some of my lines, they're not completely 1 inch by 1 inch, right? I'm going to go into the rectangle tool and then create a rectangle the size of this white canvas. And then I'm going to go to my selection tool, select everything. So from top to bottom, select everything, right click, and then make clipping mask. So now I have this really cool cut and everything pattern that's the size of the canvas. Now I'm going to copy, so Control C, go back to my Koala and Friends setup, and then I'm going to make it a pattern. So to do that, I'm going to paste it in here, and then I'm going to go over to Object, Pattern, Make, and we're going to make a pattern. I'm going to call it checkers, and you can play around with the settings. I'm just going to do a grid, and and sometimes they might click certain properties for you. I unclicked them all because I wanted to kind of have this seamless look. And then when you're done, just come up here and press done. Now I'm going to actually remove this, and the cool thing about this is that you can make a box. So the rectangle tool, the size of the canvas, and then I already have it set to the swatch that I made. But say like it was this, say that it was just this regular box or whatever, or just one that's clear. Since you already saved your pattern, you can go all the way to the bottom and find it and click it to make it into the background. And that's really it. I could stretch it out and make it the whole background, but you can kind of do this with all of it. By the end of everything, when you're done, you're gonna save it, Control S, and then you're going to export it. So you're gonna go to File, Export, Export As, save it into your folder. Now I'm going to turn it into a JPEG. And that's really it. And now you have your first activity prompt fully done. When you're done, you can submit this into Canvas. And just press OK, and it's done.